Hello and welcome. I'm Tuck.
And I'm Chelsea.
And we are thrilled today to be bringing you Disney's Villainous. Specifically, we're going to be talking about Pete today from the Perfectly Wretched box. So I will be playing Pete from Perfectly Wretched.
Yes, and then I will be playing Captain Hook from the Villainous green box, The Worst Takes It All.
Yeah. And one of the best things about this, and I do want to say just right up front, all of these boxes, so for example, Perfectly Wretched came out and it has 3 different characters in there. And you can play them with just themselves or with any of the other boxes and games, and they all come kind of self-sufficient. They have their own power tokens, their own movers, their own boards, so you can play them either individually or with any other box.
Yeah, absolutely. So a little bit of information just about Villainous as well, since we've kind of shared some of that. So it is for ages 10 and up. Players is 2 to 6. Playing time is roughly about 40 minutes, and that's starting with 2 players.
Yeah, a little bit more with more players.
Yeah. Although we have also gone over, I think, that 40 minutes a couple of times with just the 2 of us.
When it gets competitive.
Yes. The price is $34.99 for the green box, and then those standalone boxes, such as the one that Tuck is playing from Pete, are $24.99.
Yeah, so each of those smaller boxes have 3 characters each, and then the green box that Chelsea's playing from has 6.
Yeah, absolutely. And then again, these are available at Amazon, Target, and Walmart in the U.S. All right. So, a little bit, as I'm sure a lot of you kind of know, probably about Villainous. It has, I feel like, a really good following.
Yeah.
We're addicted to it, and I know some of you are too. So, a little bit of premise of the game is, in this epic contest for sinister power, you take on the role of a Disney villain and strive to achieve your own devious objective. And so you discover your character's unique abilities and winning strategy while dealing twists of fate to thwart your opponent's schemes. So find out who will triumph over the forces of good and win it all.
That's right, because in Villainous, it is good to be bad.
Yes.
So we are playing the villains, as we've mentioned. Obviously, Pete and Captain Hook are the bad guys.
Yes.
And so we are excited to be the best bad guy that we can. So I want to talk, before we kind of get started, I want to talk about the different components. So each player will have their own game board that talks about the different locations that are thematic to their movies.
Yeah.
They also will have their own deck. So we have a fate deck that contains some things that are bad for our bad guys, like the good guys and things like that, as well as the playing deck that have the things that we need in order to succeed.
Yeah.
And then we also have our movers, and I love the movers on these because they are kind of minimalistic, but they have a great kind of caricature quality to them that talk about and show what they are. So that's Pete that Chelsea's showing off.
I like his. He has a nice weight to him, too.
And then Captain Hook here with his wonderful kind of pompadour hat.
Yeah, his hat, and then you can even see like the ruffles from almost like his clothes and his shirt. I have to say, I am kind of partial to the hook mover, and I think that is because it is also the first Villainous puzzle that we completed, and it's on your desk, the little mover of Captain Hook, because we completed it together, and so I'm very partial to this mover. I like it a lot.
Yep, absolutely. All right, and then one of the most important things about each character is the reference card, and it's a little kind of booklet that you go through, and we always start our games by kind of reading through these, not only because it's helpful to you as a player to know what cards and what your objectives are, but we find that it's really helpful to know what other people are going for and what they're looking for as well, and maybe ways that you can kind of stop them or slow them down.
Yeah, and as you can see, there are just great pictures, and everything is broken up into categories. It's really, really helpful. So these are able to let us know. And so in order to win the game, I mean, that's the goal usually, right? Is to be evil and bad and to win. And so you must fulfill your objective first in order to win, all while performing all these different actions to slow your opponents down.
Absolutely.
And so those villain objectives are actually listed on the boards. We have them right here to kind of help keep us, but they are also in that villain guide.
Yeah.
And so you can open it right up, and I'll show Captain Hook's off right there. You can see Captain Hook's objective is to defeat Peter Pan at the Jolly Roger. And then it kind of goes through some information of that special setup and how to make that happen.
Yeah, absolutely. So Hook's special setup is pretty easy. The only thing that he does in particular is that there is a lock on the hangman's tree.
Yes.
And so she will, Hook or Chelsea will have to unlock that.
We're kind of one and the same right now.
At the moment. We'll have to unlock the hangman's tree before she can move here or play cards to it. My villain is Pete, and Pete has a little bit more of a special setup.
And I'll show off his villain guide right here.
And so his special objective is to complete the 4 selected goals. Now, he actually has 5 different goals, and you will randomly choose, and I can go ahead and do that. I'm going to randomly choose 4 of them and place them 1 in each location. And that will actually make it so that I have 1 extra that'll just get set aside. And now I can look at any of these at any time, but I'm supposed to kind of keep them secret from my opponents.
Yes,
So
I'll try not to look at them.
Thank you, I appreciate that. I'll go ahead and show you all so that we know kind of what we're working towards.
I'll do this.
All right, so
out of fairness.
I appreciate that. Now, this is great because depending on each time you play where these end up, they're a little bit easier or harder, or maybe just a different strategy for these. Okay, so in Podunk Landing, my goal is to win big.
Oh, well, I mean, if you're going to read it. Like, why am I covering my eyes?
That was something that you decided to do. So I will need to have at least 4 power from playing a game, which is one of my special cards. At the airport, I will need to start my turn with at least 3 items. So I'll need to kind of stack my items there. At the service station is my power play. I will need to spend at least 6 power in 1 turn. Now that's a little bit easier in the location like Podunk's Landing where I can play multiple cards.
Yeah.
So I may need to kind of stack some things here, and there's a couple cards that can help me with that.
Yeah, absolutely.
And then in Frontier Town, I need to rule the realm. I will start my turn with more allies than heroes at each location. So this one's a little bit less location specific. And then as I complete them, I will flip them over, and then they will stay that way for the rest of the game. And once I have completed all 4, I'll win the game.
Yes.
So mine's a little bit more in depth, but I really like the replayability on him because depending on where they are, and I also have this additional goal that we can mix in.
Absolutely.
It makes it really fun to play multiple times.
All right.
All right, so should we go ahead and get going?
Yeah, and I do just want to show off, I know you kind of talked about some of these, but we do have this guide of action symbols, and as we kind of go to each of our locations and use them, we'll talk through what those are in a little bit more detail.
Wonderful.
All right.
All right, so then why don't you go ahead and start us off. Now to begin, we're going to get 4 cards into our hand from our regular deck, and these will be the cards that we can play. Now, in addition, since Chelsea's going first, she doesn't get any additional power, but I will get 1 to help me out since I am going second. It makes it a little bit more fair.
Yes, and if there was a 3rd or a 4th player, it would go up in power as well. Yeah. I just need a moment real quick while I kind of read through my cards.
And I'll say again, I love Pete from a little bit older time. All of his cards and his mover and his board are all in the grayscale, and I just love that it's got the classic artwork to just everything in here. I love the attention to detail.
Yes. Okay, all right. So I am going to go ahead and I will start by moving to... Oh man, I really didn't want to go... Well, I'm going to go to the Mermaid Lagoon and definitely start with that 3 power because I would like to start to get some power to be able to do some things. And then I have the option to either move a card. I don't really have anything out.
Not yet, yeah.
Too much that I'm going to be moving, and then I can also play 2 cards.
And all of those icons, again, are on on that action symbol reference guide. So we can actually leave that up a quick second while Chelsea's doing hers. So her first one is gain power, and you get the number there. And then she has 2 different play a card. So for each of those, she can play 1 card out of her hand. And then she also has the move an item or ally, which she doesn't currently have, but gives some flexibility in a little bit.
All right, so I'm going to play a card, and I'm going to play an effect. And so it actually costs 0 power, and you can see it up there, and I'm trying to get rid of that glare there. You can see it up there in the corner, but it is called Worthy Imponent. And so I can gain 2 power, which is nice.
Yeah,
I'll take
very
that.
nice.
And then go ahead and reveal cards from your Fate deck until you reveal a hero, and then play that hero and discard the rest. And so something kind of interesting about Captain Hook, and that makes him a little bit different, is that he gets to kind of control his own fate, if you will. And so he has a lot of cards that allow him, unlike other villains, to go through his Fate deck and to find certain cards that he needs and to kind of cycle through that. Because again, my objective is to defeat Peter Pan, and so I have to kind of get to Peter Pan and get that all set up. So.
Yeah, so normally it seems like it's kind of disadvantageous to to play something from your own Fate deck, but like you said, since your goal is to have a standoff with Peter Pan, being able to bring him out quicker makes it even easier for her to do that.
Yeah. All right, so let's see. And of course, the first card is a hero, and is not the hero that I was looking for. So I have Tinkerbell, and when Tinkerbell is played, discard one ally from from her location. And I'm actually going to go ahead and just play her right here where I already am and cover up some things.
Yeah.
And then I still have one more play a card, so I'm going to use that.
So the interesting thing about about heroes, because remember, heroes are the bad guys in this. They are our opponents. When they come out, they will actually cover up 2 of those icons, making it so that you can't use those icons at that location until you defeat the hero. And we'll talk about how you can defeat those in a little bit.
Yeah, and so I'm going to play 2 power, and then I'm going to go ahead and play an ally, and I will play Boarding Party here. And they must be used, or they may be used to defeat a hero at their location or at an adjacent location.
That's awesome.
And I'm going to also play them to the Mermaid Lagoon.
Perfect.
And that will be my turn.
Wonderful. All right. So I will take my turn. Now, one of the things is you always have to move your piece before you can do anything. You can't stay there unless there's a card or something specific that allows you to. So I am definitely going to move, and I think like Chelsea, I'm going to go to Podunk Landing. Now again, getting power is very important. So I'm going to go to that 3 power location and get a few more power. And then it also allows me to do 2 play actions and as well a discard. And discarding is great because you will always draw back up to 4 cards at the end of your turn, and sometimes you're looking for that exact right kind of card, and so discarding helps you run through your deck until you can get to it.
Yes.
All right, so I got my power. I like to do that first, and I can do 2 play actions, and I'm going to remind myself what my goal is here. I need to...
I will try not to look.
Thank you. I need to play the card, play a game here. And so I'm going to check and see. I actually have that card. So sometimes it works out where some of these goals you kind of have to set up for it. Play a game is one of those where you really don't have to set up too hard for it. So I'm definitely going to use one of my play a card actions to do that one. Now there are actually 4 of these in the deck, so if it's not successful, I'm not too worried about it because I could have a few more chances to do it again later. So I'm going to pay the 2 costs up in the corner, and then it says reveal the top 2 cards of your deck. Gain power equal to the sum of their costs and discard them. So that's great to play anyways because I get free power, but what I'm looking for is, since I'm in this location, I would need to gain at least 4 power. So let's see if I can do that
Yeah.
goal or not.
And I do, just because I know you love yours because of the grayscale and the old-timiness, but I want to give it a shout-out because Oswald the Lucky Rabbit's on this card, and I very much love
Chelsea
Oswald.
really does. We have two original
Drawings of Oswald.
In our
Yeah.
house.
Way long ago, in a different life, I worked at Disneyland when Oswald came back to the Disney company, which is a whole nother story. But I was very excited to be able to own Oswald stuff.
Yeah,
and so I love when I see Oswald on things.
All right, so I am going to play a game. I'm going to reveal the top two and gain power. The first one is great. I've got a 3 power card, and the next one, if you want to show that one off.
Again, I also just love all the artwork,
Now,
so I feel like it's...
I am a little sad about this because that's a fantastic one to have in my hand instead of just discarding it, but the 3 power is great. And then the next one is a second play of the game, but that gives me 5 power and my first objective in my first turn. So I am really excited about that.
Very nice.
So I'm going to flip that over. I have 1 big because I actually beat it. I needed 4 and I got 5.
There you go.
So I will discard those.
Oswald was the lucky rabbit for you.
He was. That's perfect for me. All right, I'm going to discard those. And I still have 1 more play a card action. So I think I'm going to play Sneaky Pete. Okay. Sneaky Pete, it doesn't cost me any power to do. I can draw 2 cards, and then I can put 1 on the top, or I get to keep 1, and I put the other one at the top or bottom of the deck. So it's great, because if I don't like it, I can kind of chuck it, and if I do like it, oh boy, this is a tough one. So... Let's see here.
I feel like I'm not supposed to technically know the struggle that you're
not
going through.
Supposed to. I'm going to glance at my goals. So what I'm struggling with is I have 3 bandits. And bandits are fantastic because when you play a bandit, you can play any number of bandits as the same card action. And that is great. I want to check out my goal here and see. That's great for this one. Spend at least 6 power in 1 turn because they are 2 each.
Yeah,
so
there you
I
go.
think I'm going to
probably
hold
wanna
on
keep
to
all
this, and I will discard this fantastic item that I won't be able to use. Since I'm going to try and go for that bandit strategy.
Yeah. All right.
All right.
It might be working. I do see in the chat that Bonzinator has yet to lose while playing Pete.
Yeah.
So
I'm going to try and keep that up. Thank you, Bonds, for that energy.
Yes.
I appreciate that. All right, so I have 3 cards. I have a discard action, but I'm not going to do that because I want to hold on to all 3 of these bandits. And so I will just draw up 1 more and pass my turn to Captain Hook.
that sounds great. I probably should have looked a little bit more at stuff while
I'm very captivating while I take my turn.
It is. I very much like to know what you're doing, why you're doing it, what it looks like. So I'm going to move to Skull Rock here. And it is difficult, again, because I have this location locked. I can't go there until I get my card that unlocks Hangman's Tree, which is that Neverland map.
Yep.
And so I'm kind of trying to, like, cycle through my cards. So I'm going to go here and get 1 power. I always like to remember the power before I forget it.
Absolutely.
And I am going to discard quite a few here, actually. I'm going to keep that. So I'm going to discard 2 for sure. And then I am going to play Worthy Opponent again, and it doesn't cost any power, so I played this last time. And I will gain 2 power, which is lovely,
That's
and
great.
then reveal heroes, and hopefully maybe get Peter Pan to come out. So maybe look at that.
She got him.
All right, and so Peter Pan, once he is revealed, I must immediately play him to Hangman's Tree. That's where he goes, and I have to get him slowly moved over to the Jolly Roger.
Yes.
And so that's even if it is still locked. And if for some reason you had fated me this past turn and you had pulled Tinkerbell and Peter Pan, you would have to play Peter Pan.
Right.
You can't choose Tinkerbell and put him into my fate deck. He immediately goes out.
Immediately goes out. Yeah, that's the nice thing is that if a lot of times, so, and we haven't gotten to it yet, but
I'm about to.
You can fade each other. I appreciate that. And you can make it tough on your opponent. You get 2 cards, as you'll see here, and you get to choose between the 2. Peter Pan, because he's so integral to Captain Hook's win condition, has to be played. And so that's a nice thing about him. He is extremely powerful, though. He's got 8 strength.
Yeah, and I'll kind of show off. I mean, everyone loves Peter Pan, right? Even though he's our good guy, kind of show him off. And that green screen is kind of messing with his outfit. Sorry, Peter. All right. So it is, because he is locked, and remember, I do have to move him all the way. I can't move him until I can unlock that location or go there, so I'm kind of stuck there for a little bit. But so far, I've gained my power, I've played a card, and I've discarded quite a bit, so I'm down to 1 card, and now I will fate you.
Now the fating. Yep. So the way fating works is you will draw 2 cards from your opponent's fate deck, because she's going to play it onto my board, so it has to be consistent with my movie or my my universe kind of a thing. So she's choosing, she picked 2, and now she gets to choose between the 2 cards and see which one will hurt me the most. So there are generally effects and heroes, and sometimes items as well that you can attach to make those heroes even more difficult.
Yeah. So I have some interesting, I got an effect here. I have Knock Silly, reveal the top 5 cards of Pete's deck, and discard the cards with a cost of 2 or more, and return the rest to the top of the deck at random order, which is very interesting. Yeah. And then I also got a hero here. I got Goofy. So when Goofy is played, you may switch the locations of 2 adjacent goal tokens, or move 1 gold token to an adjacent location without a gold token.
Interesting. All right.
Yeah.
So, what would you like to do?
I know. I'm kind of struggling. What do I have here? I think I am definitely, I'm going to play Goofy. I'm going to play him here and cover up some of that power, because there's 2 power there. And I will put your kind of fate, the other one, Knock Silly, there. And then I can move some stuff around.
Yeah. So again, Chelsea's not supposed to know what
I already
have.
forgot if it counts for anything. I don't know which one is
I've
which.
generally forgotten as well. So it's just one of those things that she probably knows I'm thinking
switch
towards.
These 2.
I'm thinking towards doing something, right? So if I've got a plan in mind, by switching them up, you can probably disrupt something, right?
Yes, if it counts for anything, I don't remember, but I did switch 2 of them. So, all right, and that's the end of my turn. If you want to check your goals while I draw back up to 4 before you go.
I think I was going for this one, and she moved it now to Frontier Town. Yeah, that's the one where I have to spend at least 6 power in 1 turn, and I have the cards to do it, and I have the power to do it. So I think I'm going to go ahead and do that, even though it's blocked by Goofy, and I can't utilize 2 of those icons.
Yeah.
I think I'm going to go there and do that anyways. So I am going to move to Frontier Town, and you know what? It won't work. I've messed up, because...
I'm sorry.
No, that's fair. I can't do it because look at the icons. I have a
Vanquish,
and a move. I don't have an icon where I can play a card. The play a card is covered up, and so I can't play out any of the cards that I have in order to do that.
Oh man.
So what I have to do is I have to vanquish Goofy before I can do that entire thing, because I can't play a card out and I can't get allies there either. So I'm in a bad situation. I actually can't do either of these, so that's the end of my turn.
Oh, goodness.
That's just the way it works sometimes. And I think what I'll have to do is I might need to play next to this to the service station and see if I can move them over in order to defeat him.
Do you want to take it back since you had a plan in mind?
No, that's exactly what happened.
All right.
Yeah.
All right. You know, I would like to point out, though, normally I try to cheat each game, and I think this is the first time you've tried to cheat.
I did try to, yeah.
And then realized that you couldn't do what you thought you could do.
Well, and I will say, for multiple reasons, playing Goofy out into Frontier Town was a great fate action on Chelsea's part. All right, your turn, then.
All right. I don't know what I'm going to do, to be honest with you. I'm going to actually, so I'm going to go here. And again, I always like to start with the power. I hate forgetting power. So I will get that 1 power. I have a discard, a vanquish, and a play. Whew. All right.
Move that off since I did successfully complete that one.
I am going to vanquish, actually, and I'm going to use my boarding party here to defeat Tinkerbell, since they both have a power of 2. which will discard kind of both of them off of that. So I
Yeah.
have that location opened up a bit more.
Yeah, so the way Vanquishing works is that as long as, generally speaking, now
Yeah.
the boarding party can technically vanquish
From an adjacent,
yeah, but generally speaking, they have to be in the same location, and their strength has to be equal, or you have more than them. Now you can combine your allies' strength together in order to defeat a hero, but when you do that, you'll have to discard all of the cards that you use to
Yes.
kind of add up to that power.
Yeah, and that just kind of worked out really nicely.
Yeah, that's awesome.
And then I'm going to play one card, and I'm going to play Pirate Brute right here, and he costs 3 power.
And I wonder why you're playing him right there.
I know, for no reason at all. And he has no additional ability, just that strength of 4, so kind of show him off.
4 strength is really pretty powerful,
Yes.
so that's awesome.
And then I have a discard, and I'm actually going to discard the last 3 cards in my hand, because
Wow,
again, I
okay.
am looking for that Neverland map to
definitely.
open up Hangman's Tree. All right, so it is your turn.
All right, so I am going to... I need to play, and I need to discard some cards. So I am going to go to Podunk Landing. I'm going to get 3 power there. I don't really need the power at the moment, but the 2 plays and the discard is really powerful. I've got a bunch of bandits here. All 4 of my cards are actually bandits. And the nice thing is I can play any number of bandits as the part of the same play a card action. So I really only need 1 play a card action.
Yeah.
But what I think I'm going to do is, it's not going to help me here spend at least 6 power in 1 turn, but I
I'm just
need to
looking
be
right at your
able.
goal.
I know, cheating. She says that she wasn't cheating.
I
She
know.
is cheating. I need to
It's
defeat
hard when it's
Goofy.
like right in front, you know?
Yeah. So I think what I'm going to do is, as one of my play a card, I'm going to play 2 bandits to Frontier Town. Now that does cost 4 power, but that'll make it so that at least, hopefully, I can take care of that and clear out that area.
Yeah.
I also have a discard. I really want to keep my 2 bandits, and I think since I played 2 of them, I'll go ahead and keep these because I think it's going to be pretty helpful towards my next goal that I'm kind of looking towards. So I will end my turn there and just draw 2 more cards.
All right. And I think you will appreciate, just kind of looking at the chat, Not My Dance said that Pete has some of the best art in the game.
Absolutely.
The black and white is beautifully detailed and designed, and I feel like you agree. You were
I
very excited to pull out
completely
Pete.
agree. It's been one of my favorite
Yes.
villains so far.
I do have to give a shout out, though, because all of the artwork is really, really, really beautiful and well designed. They all look like they would make beautiful, like, portraits in your house or decorations. So I'm here for it.
Absolutely.
All right.
All right, your turn.
It's my turn. All right. Well, I'm going to go back to Skull Rock here. And I will take the 1 power. I can play, I can fate, and I can discard. And so I am going to play. I'm going to turn in 3 power here. And I have another Pirate Brute. And I'm going to play him straight to Jolly Roger. And then I'm going to discard the other 3 cards in my hand. And then I will fate you.
Yep, fair enough.
All right. Oh. I mean. All right,
got
I'll
Oswald
show you.
again.
Yes, I was going to say, I'll show you why. Just on. All right, so I have Hide first off. So discard a bandit from Pete's realm. Oh, that's pretty nice.
Yep.
Or there's also the hero of Oswald the Lucky Rabbit.
Just talking about him.
Just talking about him. I love Oswald. So the amount of power that Pete gains from a play a game is reduced by 1 power.
Yeah, and so that's really useful
Yeah.
when I was playing Win Big, because that would make it so I wasn't able to complete that as easily, maybe.
I know, and I feel bad. I'm going to probably say, I'm sorry, Oswald. I do love you. I'm so happy you're a part of Disney again. But I'm going to use Hide and discard a bandit from Pete's realm.
That's definitely fair.
I'm going to play that effect and get rid of one of those bandits.
Yep.
And that is my turn.
Well, that's a great thing to do, because I was definitely going to go there and defeat Goofy and
Yes.
then get one of those goals. So instead, I will go elsewhere and see what else I can do. So I will... I think I will go to the service station. I haven't been there yet, and let me double check what my goal is. Start my turn with more allies than heroes at each location. So I need to get at least 4 heroes or excuse me, 4 allies or items out without any heroes. So that may be something that I kind of play towards, but I do want to get rid of Goofy. So let's see, I get 1 power. I can play 1 card, and I am going to play another bandit.
Okay.
Now, I could do as many as I want, but again, it's not helping me with my goal. So I think I will do just 1 bandit there and play the 2 power to do that. I now have enough to defeat Goofy, but I have to have that Vanquish action. And then I will Fate Chelsea.
Oh, I mean, you don't have to.
I know, I haven't gotten to do that yet. So I have 2 options.
Yes, let me show these off.
I have the smallest of the heroes, Michael. Michael gets 1 strength, plus 1 strength.
Yes, but he also has a teddy bear.
He does. He's very cute. He gets plus 1 strength for each location in Captain Hook's realm, that's his entire board, that has a hero, including Michael's location. So that would actually give him a total strength of 3. It's nothing to sneeze at. And then my other option is Taunt. Attach Taunt to a hero. Captain Hook must defeat heroes with Taunt attached to them before defeating other heroes. That is a great thing to do if there's a few of them, and I know that she's trying to take care of Peter Pan. I can Taunt and make sure that somebody else
I have to focus on somebody else,
But given the situation, I think I will put out Michael. If I could have Michael, I will put him. That's all right. I'm kind of figuring out where to play
I was thinking about how you could use Taunt, and that it would be great if you could play both of the fate cards together. And my brain started to think about, okay, based off of the cards that I have, what's my next action where you play this?
Absolutely.
So I'm sorry, I went into game mode.
I think I'm going to play Michael to the Mermaid Lagoon for a few reasons. One, it covers up that play, which
and the moving,
she likes to go to Mermaid's Lagoon because of the 3 power.
I mean, I dream of a Mermaid's Lagoon.
I mean, who doesn't?
Right? I mean,
and then also it maybe will kind of stack up and make Mermaid Lagoon, if she's able to move Peter Pan, a little bit tougher to deal with.
So I don't know. Since we're on, is that your turn?
It is. I'll draw back up.
Since we're talking about Mermaid's Lagoon, and I am going to go there, and I think that's probably my favorite of, like, I'll dream of a Mermaid's Lagoon. But the mermaids are villains, right? I mean, my favorite line is when Peter is like, hey, stop, what are you doing? And they're like, we were only trying to drown her. Like, gosh, Peter, we were just having fun.
Maybe they didn't know they could breathe underwater, right?
They said drown.
They did.
Just saying. I think they might be in league with Captain Hook. That's why he's able to visit the mermaid.
So.
I don't know.
We'll have to see if we play a little bit further to see if they end up in the hero side or your deck.
All right, so I'm going to go to Mermaid's Lagoon, and I will take the 3 power that are there.
I've stunted your choices.
You have,
so that's
yes.
great for me.
But I am going to play a card. It will cost 2 power, and I am going to play it right there. And it is called Hook's Case, and I'll kind of show that off.
So this actually adds another icon.
Yeah. And I can actually use it once it is played out.
Absolutely.
And so I'm going to do that, and then I will go ahead and get that 1 power from that location. And then that's all I can do, because you've covered everything else up. So it's your turn.
I'm glad about that. Okay, so now I can go to Frontier Town. So Frontier Town is the only place on my map that has a Vanquish action. So I'm going to go ahead and take that because I have enough strength to defeat Goofy. Now, the great thing is it's actually 3 strength on each of them, and so I only need 1 of my bandits to take out Goofy, which is fantastic. And that opens up, since I'm there, it opens up the rest of those actions. So now I can get 2 power. 2, 3, 4, 5. Wonderful. And I can play a card. Now, the bandits are special because I can play any number of them. I can play any number of them as 1 play a card action.
Yeah, that's really great.
So I am going to go ahead because my goal here is spend at least 6 power in 1 turn while Pete is at this location, which I am. So I am going to do something awesome. I am going to do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 power.
Very nice.
And I am going to play 3 bandits, which cost a total of 6 power.
Yeah.
And I'm going to play one of them to each location.
Ooh, very nice.
And in so doing...
Kind of covered up my Michael, but that's
I
okay.
did, I'm sorry. In so doing, I spent at least 6 power in that location.
Yeah.
And I'm getting close now to starting my turn with more allies than heroes at each location, because I have 1 ally and no heroes.
Yeah, thanks for sharing that right before I go to my turn. What your next
That
thing
was
is.
a secret just for our viewers, so they don't know that. So I fully completed this one, and I'm close to doing this one. So don't tell Chelsea. Thank you. And that is the end of my turn. So I will draw back up to 4.
Sounds great.
And pass to you.
All right. Well, I'm sorry. I guess this is my cheating. I'm gonna go to Skull Rock. I'm gonna gain a
wonder
power.
why. I told you, she always cheats.
I always cheat. I'm gonna go to Skull Rock. I'm gonna gain a power first and foremost before I forget that. Let's see. He is a 3 because of the other heroes.
That's right, yeah.
In his location.
So it gets a little bit stronger.
I know. I got to remember that. That is making it difficult. I will play a card. I'm going to spend 2, and I'm actually going to play Smee.
Smee?
And so
Smee's me.
Yeah, and Smee gets 2+ strength if he is at the Jolly Roger, and so I am going to play him to the Jolly Roger with some pirate brutes.
Chelsea is stacking up. I know she needs to get Peter Pan over to the
Yes.
Jolly Roger, because Peter Pan has to be defeated at the Jolly Roger, which is why she's stacking up so many allies there to really have an epic showdown. And let's be honest, Hook doesn't actually... He does a little bit, but he sends a lot of his goons to attack Peter Pan.
I'm also going to discard. I'm going to discard 2 out of my hand because again, I still need that Neverland map.
Yes.
And I am going to fate you.
Okay, that's fair.
For no reason.
No reason at all.
Oh, okay. I do. I love all the old timey. I saw someone else said that they were really excited to see 2 kind of older villains being played. But we have Horace, Horse Collar. I love his short. That's just what came to mind right now. Walt Disney. That's when Walt Disney used to actually voice Mickey Mouse. I was about to say mouth Mickey Mouse. What a weird way of saying that. All right, so a hero. So when Horse Collar is played, you may move an ally or item to any location.
Yeah, kind of throw off what I have going a little bit.
And then, of course, we have Miss
Mouse.
Minnie Mouse. And when Minnie Mouse is played, you may discard an ally or an item from Pete's realm.
Yeah. Both of those are pretty strong against me right now.
Pretty great. And so I'm going to play Minnie Mouse.
Yep.
I feel like that is the one to do to get it fully discarded instead of just moved.
Yeah, that's fair.
I'm going to play her there, and so I will reveal my Michael again since you covered him up. How could you? And get rid of that bandit.
Very nice.
As well as also covering a fate action for
I
you.
saw that you did that.
That might be on purpose. And that is my turn, so I will draw back up.
Fair enough. All right. So, again, my goal here was to start my turn with more allies than heroes at each location, so I didn't do that because randomly I got fated for no particular reason. So I've got to figure out something else I can do then. Let's see. I will move. I am almost out of power, so I'm going to go back to Podunk's Landing. I'm going to get 3 power. And I have 2 play a card actions. I'm definitely going to spend one of them, which is 3 power, to play my Jalopy, which is, again, we say it every time. Pretty much every time we play a card, but I love the artwork on this.
I know.
Now, I, as Pete, have 4 different items kind of like this that have to be played to specific locations. This one can only be played...
Keep showing that. I'm sorry.
This one can only be played to the service station. So that'll go here. But the great thing is each of these provide an extra action symbol that I can use when I go to that location. So now, every time I go to the service station, I
have
can...
another,
have another play a card action. So now I've got 2 places where I can play extra cards. And things like that help me take care of, and I've already done it, but like spend 6 power in one turn. So that gives me another place to play multiple cards that might be able to help me with that.
Very nice.
All right, now I do have one more play and a discard. I'm definitely going to discard... I'm definitely going to discard 2. I think I'm going to discard 2, and I'll play 1. So it'll cost me my last power, but I'm going to play good old Horse.
Oh.
And Horse is an ally, but one of his special things is when he's played, I can move an ally or item in my realm to any other location.
Very nice.
So I think I'm going to use him and a bandit. So I'm going to play him in the airport, and I'm going to bring a bandit here as well that might be able to help me defeat Minnie Mouse, which sounds terrible to say. But I'm going to see if maybe next turn I can vanquish Minnie Mouse. And I'll draw back up to 4.
So his mom loves Minnie Mouse. So somewhere her heart is breaking just a little bit
Just
to hear
to
you
hear me
say,
say that.
that you plan to vanquish and defeat Minnie
Just
Mouse.
don't turn that into an audio clip.
That's her Christmas present. Just you. It'll be like a bear that she could squeeze, like a Minnie Mouse, and it'll say, "I'm going to vanquish Minnie Mouse." I don't think I could do it. It would break her heart.
Nope.
I'm sorry. I'm going to move to Mermaid's Lagoon. Even though it is kind of covered, I'm going to get that 3 power.
Wonderful. I am going to pause. Now, we haven't had one of these. So.
I know. I discarded mine because of the goofy card, and I was trying to cycle through. I wanted to keep my conditions.
So there are condition cards, and we haven't come across them yet, but a condition card goes off, basically, when someone else does something. So Chelsea gained 3 or more power. I can now play Mischief, not even on my turn, so on somebody else's turn. So I will draw 2 cards from the bottom of my deck, and then put one card from my hand on the top or bottom of the deck. So it kind of lets me maneuver a little bit.
Very nice. Conditions are fun.
I'm going to grab 2 from the bottom of the deck. And then I can put 1 card on either the top or bottom of the deck.
Interesting.
So, let's see. I'm going to put it on the top.
Okay.
I liked what it was. Okay.
All right, so I got my 3 power. I am going to gain this extra little 1 power right here.
That's awesome.
Since that's there. And then I'm going to play a card, and all of my kind of discarding and cycling through my deck has finally paid off.
She's found the Neverland
map. And I have found the Neverland map. So it costs 4 power. Let me make sure I pay that, although I would like to keep my 4 power. And so when Neverland map is played, I can unlock Hangman's Tree, making that available, thank goodness, to take that lock away.
Fantastic.
And then the next time that I play an item, I can actually discard Neverland map instead of paying the item card's cost. So hopefully I will remember that. Sometimes I kind of forget when it's down here to do that, but that will go there. I'm so thankful that that is out, and that is my turn right there.
Fantastic. Good job.
All right.
Okay. I've got... now, I'm close to getting that goal, but I don't have any ally in Frontier Town. So I'm going to go ahead and let's start. We're going to go to Frontier Town. I'll get the 2 power. And first and foremost, I went there because I want to take the Vanquish action. So I am going to vanquish Minnie Mouse, as much as it hurts me to say that. So Minnie Mouse has 4 strength, and I have a bandit and a horse of 3 and 2. So I do have to discard both of those.
Yes.
But that will kindly ask Minnie Mouse to leave my realm. We'll say it that way. Which opens up those extra spots as well and gets me maybe a little bit closer to my goal of getting someone kind of everywhere.
I know. You're catching up.
All right. I will... let's see here. I will... I don't have enough power to do some of these things. I've got some really good cards, but I only have 2 power. And so I need to work a little bit to do that. So let me put out a cheap one. I'll play a card, and I will play a parrot. So parrot only costs me 1, But when Parrot is played, choose a card from your discard pile and put it in your hand, which is a great one.
That is a great one.
And I'm going to play just to kind of get another ally out. He's not very strong, but it makes it so
sorry about that.
I'm sorry.
I wanted my cards to be always visible. They're the cards
I will
play.
say, since they were there, actually, if you want to show the back, taking a quick pause, I love the back of these cards because they give kind of a minimalistic line drawing reminder of the movie. There's so many details in each of these things. So you've got the hat, the ship wheel and the hat.
The little dagger. You can even see like the skull and crossbones. You have, of course, his hook down there. Yeah.
And then Pete has, of course, his his propeller, his boat, his hat, and the money bags. So we love
very nice.
There's just so many details that went into this game that make it so fantastic.
And it's just beautiful. It's absolutely beautiful.
Okay. Let's see. I can move. I don't think I'm going to do that. So I will draw one and pass my turn to you.
Thank you. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and I will go to Skull Rock. I feel like I just keep kind of bumping back and forth between these two. I'm going to gain a power there. And then I do want to play a card, and I'm going to play Cannon, which is an item, so I will remember to discard Neverland's map. And so I can play it, and this location will now, wherever I play it, that location will now also gain, lost all words, will now gain a Vanquishing act, which is very, very nice. What is up here? Not saying that I, plan to go there at any point. But I think I will, actually. I will play that cannon here. And again, I don't have to pay it because of that Neverland map.
Yeah.
So I will discard that instead. All right, so I've got my power. I've played a card. I'm going to discard 2 cards here, and then I will fate you.
Fair enough. Some more classic cards. I love all the old classics that are in Pete's deck. So, Donald Duck, and look at the artwork on that.
So
that's
cute.
old classic Donald Duck there.
All right, so Donald Duck, Pete must defeat Donald Duck before defeating other heroes.
So kind of like the taunt card that you had just built straight into Donald Duck.
It would be nice if Minnie Mouse was still kind of out there to do that. And then Outlawed, we have Pete loses up to 2 power, and you may reveal 1 gold token in Pete's realm.
Yeah, so most of the time when you play this, Chelsea doesn't know what I'm going for.
Because you're not really sharing it
I'm not
with
sharing
other
it
people.
Out loud. So that would give her insight into what I'm going for, and hopefully make it, for her a little bit easier to stop what I'm going for.
Yeah, you know what? I think I am actually going to do the effect and have you lose your power.
Yeah, she knows that I was going for something more expensive, so that's pretty fair.
And even though you have been reading them out, I don't remember which either one of them is. Yeah. So is there one that you would like me, to really know about? I don't know.
That one's one I've been haven't been working on very much. So this one says, in order to complete that goal, I have to start my turn with at least 3 items.
All right.
Pete doesn't have a whole lot of items, and a lot of the ones that he does are
and you've had to discard a couple,
Yeah, they're specific as to where I can play them. Now, I can move them with the move a card action, and so that may be what I need to do is kind of adjust them around. But now she knows that I'm going for that.
Yeah, it's
and
revealed.
Can work her fate towards a little bit against that, maybe.
Your turn.
All right. I just saw in the chat we are having a giveaway this week. So I know that we have absolutely loved this game. So if you don't have a copy of this, make sure to enter. That's at bit.ly/Disney Villainous giveaway. Ooh, excuse me. Try one more time. bit.ly/Disney Villainous giveaway.
Or you can do that handy dandy thing where you just click the link in the chat.
Sure, that makes sense. Especially since I have so much trouble spelling the word villainous. Anytime I text it trying to tell people what I'm playing, I just let autocorrect take over.
I'm actually the same way. It's a weirdly tough word.
It's tough, yeah. It's
it's
all
very
of the vowels.
Evil, if you will.
Yeah.
Yeah, tie it all together. It's a very evil-ish kind of word for grammar and spelling.
Whew, all right.
What do you got?
I need some power, so I'm going to go over to Podunk Landing, where I can get 3 power. And I'm going to use that even though I'm getting kind of close to having an ally everywhere, which I really appreciate. Actually, I should probably do that, shouldn't I? You know what? I'll do a little bit of both. I'm going to play the horse. The horse is great because for a low cost of 1 power, when he plays, he counts as an ally, which will help me with this goal. But I can move an ally or item to any location.
Yes.
So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to play a horse, to the airport, which now gives me an ally in each location. And I'm going to move the jalopy to the airport because that also helps, because at the airport I need to have 3 items. So that helps me get 1 of them there. So I'm kind of working 2 things at once. So I got my power. I played 1 card. I could play another and then I can discard. So I think I am going to discard... I'm going to discard 1. I'm going to discard 1. I'm just deciding whether or not to keep a card.
It is hard. It is hard to decide.
I think I'll keep it. Okay. And then I'll pass my turn to you.
All right. So, I'm going to go to Hangman's Tree here.
Because it's open. You've unlocked
Because it's open. I can finally go there. And we haven't seen this icon before, so I'm going to kind of show it a little bit better to see here. So it's covered right now, but at Mermaid's Lagoon, I do have that move an item or ally.
Similar to that one.
Yeah, you have it up there. But on this one, at Hangman's Tree, I actually have that same thing with a little lightning bolt to move a hero.
Move a hero, which is pretty rare, but the whole goal is Hook is trying to move Peter Pan to the Jolly Roger.
Yeah, so I'm going to go ahead and move Peter Pan over to, and I don't want to cover up too much of your stuff here.
I know, that's kind of where I'm working right now, too.
I know, so I'm going to kind of put him on top of Michael. Michael is still there, which reveals a couple more things that I can do there. So I've moved my hero. I do want my 2 power.
Yep.
All right, I can fate, which I will be doing here in a second.
Yeah, she knows I'm getting close.
Yes, I can play a card as well. And so I am going to play a card. I will use that 2 power that I just gained, actually, to play Boarding Party. And I'm going to play it here. And remember, I played Boarding Party a little bit earlier this evening, but it may be used to defeat a hero at their location or at an adjacent location. So I'm going to kind of put them in the middle here to kind of maybe help with that. Kind of show both of those. And then I will fate you.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm so sorry. That wouldn't be too much, though. It's not like you have too much. But we have tired. Pete loses half his power rounded down. That is an effect.
Which would be terrible if I was really stacking this, but I haven't had a lot of luck with that lately.
And then hide, which we saw earlier, discard a bandit from Pete's realm.
Yeah. Horse is underneath.
Horse is underneath. I couldn't remember. Bandits. I know. So I think I will do hide because you really don't have too much power. And I already took some away from you, so I will discard a bandit here.
Fair. Good job.
All right, that's your turn.
Okay. All right, so I do not start my turn, and that's why it's start of turn, is to give other players your
chance
opponents
to kind of fate.
Exactly. Especially because, again, we go over those villain guides at the beginning of the game, so even if they don't know where it is or necessarily if it's in the game, right, because we have that extra one, they might have an idea that if they see me putting an ally in every location, I might need them for some reason.
Yes.
So gives them a chance to kind of do something about that. All right. I will... Oh, I really thought you were going to play a hero. I had saved a card just for it. I will...
Sorry about that.
That's okay. Let's go to... Let's go to Frontier Town, because I do need power. So since I can't stay where I am, I'll go there and get 2 power. And then I will... Let's do, I'll play Steamboat Willie, which, classic, absolute classic. I'm going to spend 3 power. And again, it can only be played to a specific location, so I can only play it here, but it will give me another action when I'm there in order to move an item, which will help with the goal that she's shown as far as moving items around. So I'll put that there.
I know, it gets hard to kind of stack the cards because you want to see them all, and of course we're playing kind of in a, normally we would have a bit more room to kind of stack our cards.
All right, now I do have the move a card, so I will move an item here, which I know is covering up a bunch of things.
I know, you're covering up Peter, covering up Michael.
And I want to be able to see, I've got an ally and then 2 action icons that are extra there, so I'll do that.
That's okay, I plan to get rid of some of the stuff that's there, so if that helps you.
That's fair. All right. And I can vanquish, but I have no heroes, so I think that's it, and I'll just draw back up to 1.
He says so happily.
Yeah.
All right, so I am going to move to the Jolly Roger. I will get my 1 power here, and then I will play a card using actually that 1 power. So I'm going to play a Cutlass here that costs 1 power, and I can attach Cutlass to an ally, and that ally will get 2+ strength.
That's awesome.
So I'm actually going to attach him here to the boarding party, which will make them a 4 now instead of just a 2. I do have that Vanquish, so I'm going to use my Cutlass and my boarding party to get rid of Michael.
Right, because Michael's a little bit more powerful than just the one that he has showing.
Yes. So that will end up discarding all of that right there. So I will get rid of that and put my item back here, which I moved out of the way to kind of show off some of that stuff.
Perfect.
I'm going to discard the last 3 cards that are actually in my hand.
Wow.
And then I have done everything at the location. So it is your turn.
All right. All right. I feel like I'm really stacking
and I just
up.
drew the last of all of my cards there.
So you may have to
shuffle
up again. There's no benefit for there's no detriment or anything for running out of cards. You just shuffle them back up and keep going. I am going to go to the airport because I've been stacking it pretty heavily with these extra pieces as well, these extra icons. So I will gain 1 power. And then I will use that power that I gained. I get to play 1 card here, and then technically here, I may not have the power for it though. But I will play a game. Yes. So again, this is specific towards one of the goals, but since I've already taken care of that, I'm just going to use it as the power because I can gain power equal to the sum of the cost. So I'm hoping it comes out a little bit better than 2. So let me grab 2 of these. I have, oh no. Let me show you what I got. I got 1 that is 0 cost and a condition which is also 0 cost. So in the turn of fate, I spent 2 to get absolutely nothing. Absolutely nothing. That's the way it goes sometimes. Sorry. They're also decent cards that I'm a little sad to discard, but that's the way it goes.
Yeah, they are good cards.
All right. I can move something, which I don't think I'll do because I've kind of got them where I want them. And I have a fate action, so I will do that.
I mean, you don't have to.
I don't have to, but you know what? I got nothing from that card, so I'm going to do this.
All right.
I've got 2 heroes. So TikTok, that crocodile,
so cute.
has a little bit more power, or a little bit more strength, excuse me, on him.
Yes.
If Captain Hook moves to TikTok's location, Captain Hook must immediately discard his hand, which means that turn may be a bit of a dud.
Yeah.
Or John. John has 2 strength, but will get an extra strength if he has any items attached to him.
Yeah.
I'm not sure how helpful that will be. I like the idea of TikTok. So, I think I'm going to play TikTok.
Okay.
Which, let's be honest, between the 2, even with John getting extra strength, TikTok already has 5 strength, which would kind of overcome that. And because if Captain Hook moves to TikTok's location, Captain Hook must immediately discard his hand. I think I'm going to play that where I think that Chelsea might want to go quite a bit at the Mermaid Lagoon.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Because it's got that 3 power,
Yeah.
and so I know she likes to go there.
Yeah, very nice.
Thank you.
All right.
I also know that you just got rid of your allies there.
Yes.
So.
Yeah.
All right, and that is all that I can do because I am all out of power.
Okay.
So I will draw one card and pass to you.
Okay, I actually feel really proud of this, and
Okay.
I'm really glad you didn't play at Hangman's Tree. So I'm
Really?
going to go to
Okay.
Hangman's Tree, and I'm going to get my 2 power
Mm-hmm.
before I forget. And I am going to move a hero,
Okay.
right? That is my kind of special thing. So I'm going to move Peter Pan. Oh, sorry.
That's all right.
I'm going to move him over to Skull Rock.
That makes sense. I should have gone to the Hangman's Tree.
And then I can play a card, and so I'm going to turn into here, and I have Ingenious Device, and this the location that I play it gains a move a hero action.
That's fantastic.
So I'm going to play it right here, and I'm going to go ahead and move a hero.
Go ahead and do it.
So I'm going to move Peter Pan. And then I already have a cannon here, which gains a Vanquish.
Yes.
And I have enough heroes, or allies,
Allies.
me, to vanquish Peter Pan the hero
Yes,
with
you do.
Smee. That gains +2 at the Jolly Rancher,
Yep.
which makes him the Jolly Roger. Excuse me, not the Jolly Rancher.
Not the Jolly Rancher.
Although now that sounds delicious. So he becomes a 4, but then
Yep.
I also have 2 Pirate Brutes, which are an
Yeah.
8 together. So really, just my 2 Pirate Brutes could take out Peter
Take
Pan.
out Peter Pan. Fantastic.
And
Great
defeats
job.
him, and then I could still technically fate you.
Don't. Great job.
So,
Very well done.
Captain Hook has defeated Peter Pan at
Very
the Jolly
nicely done.
Roger. I was very afraid you were going to put TikTok there,
Yeah.
and I was like, there goes my whole hand. I'm just going to have to discard.
Yeah, no, that was fantastic. Good job. So, as you can see, that was a very good game.
Thank you.
As you can see, we really enjoy Villainous.
Yeah.
So we've
Also, I
got-
think that's the first time I've ever won this game against you.
Hey, congratulations.
Yeah, so thank you. Sorry,
Well
I'm
done.
going to high five you.
Yeah, you earned that one. So as you can see, Villainous is a lot of fun.
Yes.
We love replaying the game with
Mm-hmm.
different characters and figuring out all of the different wing conditions and how to
Yeah.
play each of them, as well as some of the replayability with each one, because each time you play a villain, they play a little bit differently, especially with who you're playing
Yes.
against. So we have very much enjoyed
Yeah.
Villainous, and we hope that you pick it up. Also, reminder, there is a giveaway this
Yes,
week.
which is in the chat. Yes.
So be sure to join in on that. So before we go, just a few reminders. This is available at Amazon, Target, and Walmart in the United States.
Yeah, and then just as a reminder, I played Captain Hook, which is from that Villainous green box. The Worst Takes It All, and that comes with 6 heroes.
6 heroes.
And so that
Villains.
one,
Jesus,
villains.
6
Oh my
more-
gosh,
more than-
my brain is just so on like the good side. I'm so sorry. It comes with 6 villains. Goodness, it's good to be bad, and the worst takes it all, not the best.
That's right. And I was playing Pete from Villainous Perfectly Wretched, and that comes with 3. So all of these are they come with 3 villains
Yes.
for those, and those are the cost of $24.99.
Yes, and the green box is $34.99.
Yep, but they are all standalones, and so if you only want, just the smaller box, because it has Pete, right? Pete is fantastic.
Beautiful artwork, yes.
And some of the other villains that come with him, you can grab that. You've got everything that you need to
Yep,
play.
absolutely. So yeah.
All right. Well, with that, congratulations
Thank
again
you.
to Chelsea and to Hook. We thank
I would like
you all.
to say, Bonds, I defeated Pete. She said yes.
That's right.
So Pete
The
has been
streak
defeated.
the streak does not last with me, at least. So, thank you all so much for joining us. We hope you've enjoyed watching Disney's Villainous, and have
Yes.
enjoyed that. And we hope you join us for some of our other events that are coming up soon.
Yeah, and pick up your copy and see if you can win maybe Pete against Captain Hook, or
Absolutely.
vice versa.
Thank you all. Have a good day.